Welcome to WEFM's 3 p.m. news. I am your presenter, Jessica Klein. First, on the local scene. A trial has been set in regards to a mother and daughter who are accused of assaulting another woman after a change in their plea before their sentencing. Evidence provided by defendant Kalisa Shepherd in relation to the joint charge with her mother, Enola Collis, resulted in the two women being granted bail as they await their trial. Both residents of Rillan Hill appeared at the Serious Offences Court on March 23rd, where they initially pleaded guilty to a charge that on June 7th, 2022, at Rillan Hill, they assaulted Angel Primus, also of Rillan Hill, and caused bodily harm, according to Searchlight News. The facts surrounding the case were read by Sergeant Atnell Ash. During mitigation, Shepard's mother asked that she be allowed to give her version of what transpired. After hearing the evidence from the defendant, Chief Magistrate Rashawn Brown entered a not guilty plea, even though the defendants had pleaded guilty to the offense. The magistrate said that based on what was said by Shepard, it appeared that the complainant was the aggressor, and due to this, the defendants reacted. The defendants were granted bail in the sum of $1,500 each, with one surety, and the matter was adjourned to April 6, 2023. A resident of McCarthy, who has been vending for over 40 years, Brenda Lee, said that her blouse was ripped off by workers attached to the Kingston Town Board, KTB, during an incident at the Kingston Vegetable Market. According to Searchlight News, the incident occurred on Friday, March 24th, in an area of the Kingston Vegetable Market referred to as the Round Ring. Lee told a media outlet that on Friday she was plying her trade in the Round Ring when she was approached by 5 KTB workers who told her she should go to the stall she was assigned located inside the market. She said after she was told to pick up her produce and go back to her stall, she tried explaining her reason for wanting to vend in the Round Ring, but was instead greeted with fists, first from a female KTB worker after she was pushed. The vendor said that other vendors came to her assistance after blows were raining down on her. Lee disclosed that she proceeded to the central police station and was followed by the KTB workers who told the police that she had been vending on the streets. Still on the local scene, St. Vincent and the Grenadines Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves has said he is hoping for a swift conclusion in the appeal of the vaccine case after the government's COVID-19 vaccine requirement and dismissals that came from it were ruled unconstitutional and void by the High Court. During a call to WEFM's Issue at Hand program on Sunday, the Prime Minister said matters as such get delayed, but the government's side is looking to have the matter dealt with as soon as possible. The Prime Minister said once lawyers are involved on both sides, they sometimes delay these things one or the other. He added that he could tell from the side of the government and people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, he would like to see the matter move very swiftly to its conclusion and that he also wanted to see healing. The Prime Minister, during his call, continued his appeal to those who have left their posts as a result of the vaccine requirement to return, assuring that the appropriate accommodations will be made for them. On the regional scene, the president of the Lay Magistrates Association of Jamaica, Trevor Heaven, has warned that crime rate in Jamaica has left the island's law enforcement systems under threat and is urging fellow justices of peace to join the fight to save the country. In reference to the Jamaica Observer, during last week's annual general meeting of the Lay Magistrates Association, Portland chapter, Heaven encouraged the JPs to play their part in helping to create a safer Jamaica. Heaven said, law enforcement is under threat. There is no respect for our police. Corruption is at the highest level. The ways to reduce crime and violence is a major concern to us as responsible leaders in communities and in our country. We cannot stand idly by and let it grow. He further stated that he proposes that an intervention endorsed by the Portland chapter would start with the babies showing values, ethics, and morality at the teacher training schools. He said this needs to start at a high level so that we do not continue at this high level of degradation of the moral standard in our country. So it is important that we start. Still on the regional scene, joint operations by police in St. Lucia on Saturday led to the arrest of 6 individuals for various offenses, including the possession of illegal weapons, ammunition, and drugs. According to St. Lucia Times, a recent spike in gun crime in Vicksfort has led to a crackdown on criminal activities by authorities. St. Lucia's Prime Minister Philip Pierre, responsible for national security, has since then invited the Regional Security System RSS troops to the island to work along with the Royal St. Lucia Police Force to restore calm to Vicksfort. Under a legislation that was recently passed, Vicksfort South has been designated an escalated crime zone, which grants police expanded powers to deal with criminal activity in the area. And on the international scene, at least 39 persons have lost their lives in a fire at a migrant processing center in Mexico, which started during protests against deportations. BBC states that many of the victims are thought to be Venezuelans trying to reach the United States. The fire at the center broke out shortly after 10 p.m. Mexican time today. Many migrants have been heading to the U.S. border in expectation of an end to Title 42, a pandemic-era policy which gives the U.S. government the power to quickly expel migrants trying to cross the border. The president of Mexico, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, said that the fire was in relation to a protest that was started when migrants learned that they would be deported, leading to mattresses being set on fire. The president said they did not expect that it would cause such a terrible tragedy. This has been WEFM's 3 p.m. news. I have been your presenter, Jessica Klein. Join us again at 5:30 p.m. for WEFM's evening news, and we thank you for listening.